It's that time again! Alright, so if you guys don't know, whenever I make a certain number of subscribers, I give a shout out to a person who I personally thinks that deserve it. For the next person that I want to make a shout out to, I'm going to be giving one to Crazy Bones TV. For those of you who do not know him, he's a gaming reviewer who not only makes reviews, but also some first impressions on the trailer or a game that's coming out. The main reason as to why I'm making a shout out on him is not only due to the fact that he makes some pretty good points on his reviews, but he also is a really great editor. For most of the time. Honestly, the way in which case that he edits, it's apparent that he's actually trying to make his reviews at the utmost quality there is imaginable. If I can make one criticism though, it's the way in which case that he makes his sound effects. Whenever you watch his videos, you know what I mean after the first minute or two, but there seems to be a lot of sound effects, and it's a bit jarring towards how much there really was to it. You might get used to it, in fact I'm still trying to though, but I personally think that there should be a bit less. But if anything, if that's really the only problem that I really have with this content, which could be a minor one in that, then in all honesty, I don't really think that there should be any other hindrance towards not checking the guy out. The link to his channel will be in the description down below, and if you can, tell him that I sent ya. Again, I think he'll appreciate it. Anyways, that's it for the shoutouts. Now on to commentary number 20. Hope that you guys enjoy. John?
Ah, hey MTR.
What happened to your background?
Oh yeah, funny story about that. I was thinking about selling it, so I posted an ad on Craigslist, and a guy came to try and use it for a test drive, but I think he might have just stolen it.
Well, how long has he been gone for?
Yeah, 5 hours, give or take.
So, you don't know if he's coming back?
Nope.
And you're just going to keep waiting here?
Yup.
Well, I guess I could wait with you. Do you at least want to do a co-op or something since I'm here?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Who exactly is it on?
Oh, it's this guy called Alternative Owen. I actually did a one-shot on him before underneath a different name named Owen E. John, why are you further away from me?
What? No, nothing. I certainly wasn't trying to run away, no.
Oh, get back here!
Ah, damn it.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome. Oh, wait, hold up. Let me just grab a background.
Wait, why? That's right.
Give me a moment. There we go. Anyways, my name is A363MTR, here to kick some ass because I got your back.
And I'm Blackish Butler, and I'm extremely homosexual. In today's video, we're going to be covering Alternative Owen, who did a commentary on Defawfalizer's review of LEGO Marvel Superheroes.
Now, one thing to note here is the fact that he himself did a request to me to do a commentary on this very video via Skype. However, he should have realized I have a tendency to bring up co-op partners when it comes towards these requests. But anyways, please don't harass the guy, especially since that this is a request. Other than that, with all of that being said, let's take a look.
So, my last commentary didn't go so well. Let's see if I can do better.
Alright, I've got a bit of an issue here. At the very beginning of the video, you show us the like-dislike ratio from your last commentary, and it's not positive. My honest suggestion would be to just keep this out entirely. And I'm not saying that as to say that just because you made a bad video, this one will be bad too. No. It just automatically, or in my case at least, gives me a bad feeling. Try and keep your projects separate. That way, casual viewers won't instantly be turned off your video in fear that this one will turn out like the last one.
Today's commentary is on Defawfalizer. Recently, he made a review of LEGO Marvel Superheroes. I didn't like it that much, so here I am. As someone who has played the game and really liked it, this seemed like my kind of review to pick apart. Now, he did give the game a positive review, but that doesn't mean there aren't problems with the video. Also, I'm using Oswald as my avatar because Defawfal's favorite Wii game is Epic Mickey. Let's begin.
Call me crazy, aka toss this one as a nitpick, but am I the only one here who thinks that bringing up which avatar you want to use without possibly a joke or a tie-in to a story per se in the commentary to be kinda pointless? Like, I don't know why, but it's unneeded info that you've reinstated within your video. Like, cool, you're stating on who you're using, but I could just take this info out and nobody would even care. Unless if you're that person who really does care, but even then, they could probably just ask that question in the comment section.
Look at that, I'm reviewing another LEGO game. Well, I did play this recently, so I might as well review it. I'm just gonna put a spoiler warning up right here because I'm about to spoil the fact that this is, in fact, a good game.
You're about to spoil the fact that this is, in fact, a good game? Looks like someone doesn't believe in repetition.
At the very worst, you don't really explain all that well as to how it was repetitive, and you just left it as that. You could have possibly explained to the fossilizer on how he could have fixed this in order to maybe strengthen your point, but because as to how you don't use examples, I'm not really seeing as to how it's that repetitive.
Not just that, but holy shit, if this isn't one of the nitpickiest things I've ever heard. Like, yeah, okay, he was a little repetitive with his wording. Good job for noticing. But honestly, I had to go through that section like 5 times to even understand what the hell you were getting at. While the way he put it could have been written better, you're honestly making a mountain out of a molehill. The way he put it didn't interrupt the flow of his video at all, and unlike you, I could actually get what he was trying to say.
But I think I should start getting into the specifics of why it's a good game. First, I think I'll go into the story. It basically involves a gang of supervillains led by Dr. Doom and Loki, gathering up a bunch of these cosmic brick things so Dr. Doom can rule the world. There's more to it than that, but I won't go into it anymore because of the fact that there are some plot twists in there that I don't want to spoil.
Weird, because I don't remember there being any actual plot twists. I mean, I guess there were mini twists like, by the way, I'm going to spoil one part of the game, so if you haven't played it or want to play it, then skip over to this part of the video. Okay. When Dr. Doom and the rest of the villains team up to defeat Galactus, but that type of plotline has been done to death enough. There aren't really many noteworthy twists I can think of that happen in this game is what I'm trying to say.
What about the one you literally just said? Who the hell cares if it's a mini twist? Does that somehow make it not a plot twist? And what? It's been done to death? Who the hell cares? How is that even a factor in deciding if it's a twist? That's still a twist, so you literally interrupted to call him out for being wrong and validated his point. And not even just that, but there's also the fact that if, in your own words, the mini twist had been done to death, then why is it you decided to give a spoiler warning? I'm not saying that what you said wasn't a spoiler, but if it's the way you worded it, it's not exactly a spoiler. That's like saying that Mario fighting Bowser at the end of every Mario game is a spoiler.
Also, Owen, did you just fucking use a subjective opinion in trying to debunk a certain claim? You do realize I have a huge pet peeve with commentators doing that shit, right? I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna try to find a Lego brick so that you can step on it.
Now, MTR, you're too early in this commentary to be this angry. He's not worth it, I promise.
The cutscenes, just like always, are good, fun to watch, and pretty funny. The game's not really as funny as LEGO City Undercover or LEGO Dimensions, but it still is pretty funny.
Okay, but how do we know it's funny? The footage you're showing doesn't really indicate good humor, and if I remember right, there are way funnier moments in this game. Also, more repetitiveness. Yay!
Okay, you did it again. You fucking did the same problem as before again. First of all, you just got on him for not explaining why the game is funny, and yet you're not explaining how what he's doing is repetitive. Do you feel the fucking burning hypocrisy? And no, being a hypocrite does not instantly make you wrong, but holy shit is it annoying. I also have to point out that you claim that later parts of the game are way funnier than what he's showing. Okay, mind telling us a few of your examples? So not only are you not explaining anything about why Defoffilizer's arguments are bad, but you're also saying he's not explaining. And I know I briefly talked about it, but oh my god, he's still not explaining why it's repetitive.
Now, hold on for a moment. He's replaying a clip this time. Hopefully he'll explain a bit more about it.
The game's not really as funny as LEGO City Undercover or LEGO Dimensions, but it still is pretty funny.
Fucking. Also, let me explain as towards how you've done it threw me off a bit. I know that this is from my own personal experience, but to me, I felt like as if you saying yay was an indication towards how you defended your own point towards it being repetitive, which isn't surprising since you don't explain. And then you try to explain it with the clip being replayed again with a chuckle. Like, at least try to connect the dots here towards what you're trying to get at this time. The way that you've done it confused me a bit.
I also really like the style of how whenever a new character's introduced, their name is shown right next to them in white text. And I'm not gonna lie, that subtle little detail right there led to my favorite joke in the entire game. I'm not gonna spoil it for those of you who haven't played this game, but for those of you who have, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, fantastic. A detail that literally could be in any other video game ever is unique and subtle. Also, what joke? Again, I'm bringing up things that I don't remember in this game. Maybe it's because I haven't played LEGO Marvel Superheroes in about a year or so, but I don't remember anything like that at all. This is an instance where you can spoil one part of the game and it wouldn't really matter.
Okay, the first point you just made was super aggravating the way you presented it. Like, yes, the black and white text with the characters' names when being introduced could be in anything else, but you're forgetting the fact that it's not in any other game. Also, he didn't say at any point that this was somehow unique, just that he thought it was a subtle detail. He's just complimenting something that he likes. Like, chill, man. Not just that, but it's not his fault you don't remember the joke he's talking about. And in fact, you derail your whole argument by saying you haven't played the game in over a year. Like, you realize you could have done a bit of research, right? Now, I can get behind the fact that Defoffalizer was being pretty general, and that he could have said the joke and not given away a lot, but that doesn't at all take away from the fact that your argument was totally flawed.
Ants. Alright, I might be speaking towards subjectivity here, but I honestly would like to point out just a small thing that honestly kind of bugs me just a little bit within the CC before we do continue on. To me personally, I honestly would like more commentators to do this within their commentaries more, and that's with how they play their skip cards. There are those people out there who might be stating that they don't like it with commentators playing the skipping card because it could drag out the video, thus deeming them to be worthless. In some cases, I can actually understand here, but with an exception. You see, the problem of that is that there are other people out there who might actually do care, and no, they aren't just commentators, but those who might actually just like the details or what have you. Don't get me wrong though, some of the other people's arguments do hold water, but only if it doesn't A, play the damn skipping card every single time that they're skipping, B, state as to where you're skipping, and I usually skip a minimum of 30 seconds, and C, state as towards why you're skipping. If the footage is small, then you could just state that while you're playing the video. Otherwise, just state within the beginning that you'll be skipping within the video. This is in some way that to those who do care about this kind of stuff, they can gather at least some info as to why you've skipped within the first place. Now, heading back to the video and tying this up within the tangent here, Owen, you're not helping the situation. You don't explain as to why you're skipping, and for all I know, you could have just skipped a portion of the video that was less than the actual duration of your skipping card, or even just roughly around a second to 5 seconds longer than your skipping card. I do not think that this is the case, so I'm gonna try to trust you here, but let me just state here that if you don't add this kind of info next time that you make in the commentary, then just leave it out as it's just padding the video. Oh, and for anyone who asked, I've checked this recent commentary, and it's the exact same issue presented here. We'll be skipping most of your skip cards throughout the commentary, thank you very much.
Shit, I need a point too. Butts! Haha! In your face, I got the better one there!
Hey, John.
Yeah, what's up?
Kill yourself.
Okay!
In terms of heroes, we got the Avengers, well, at least the ones that were in the first movie. The Fantastic Four, you know, before this disaster. Spider-Man, and what I'm assuming are most of the X-Men.
What you're assuming is most of the X-Men? Come on, this is a game featuring almost every Marvel superhero. You have to know that the X-Men will be in it.
What? What? Were you fucking trying to miss the point? His point about the X-Men is not about how he didn't expect them to be in the game. His point when saying most of the X-Men is that he's not sure if all of the members are featured. That's, like, so painfully obvious.
Also, I just realized this before recording this commentary, but what I'm going to do is play the final sentence that the Defoffalizer makes before you interjected in this point, and play the portion that you've skipped. I'll stop when you cut back to this video.
In terms of heroes, we got the Avengers, well, at least the ones that were in the first movie. The Fantastic Four, you know, before this disaster. Spider-Man, and what I'm assuming are most of the X-Men. The villains in this were also really good too, most of which I already knew, but a few of them were new to me.
God damn it, Owen, now I have fucking trust issues with you now.
If I have one small complaint with the heroes and villains in this game, it's the fact that in the first 3 levels, Spider-Man comes in halfway through all of them, and all the levels focus around some sort of Spider-Man villain.
Except in the 3rd level, where Spider-Man comes in at the very beginning. As someone who said they played the game recently...
Well, I did play this recently, so I might as well review it.
You should know this.
Cool. Now, this is going to be silly of me, but I have a small little request. Yeah, how about actually showing some proof yourself next time? As someone who hasn't played the game, and the Fossiliser's video is probably my first time seeing any kind of footage of the game, I don't know anything about the storyline of the game at all, so maybe instead of accidentally alienating your audience, you could have instead show some footage of the beginning of the level to where Spider-Man would show up instead. You got onto him for not explaining shit, but here you go, not explaining shit. Here, my co-op partner can do it better. John, what is this kind of shit?
That's bird shit! You just shit yourself before you asked that question, didn't you?
What? How dare you accuse me of something that I didn't even do? I'm a Pokemon after all! Besides, you were wrong anyways. I was looking for bullshit.
Now on to the gameplay. Basically, have you ever played a LEGO game before? Because if so, then you already know what the gameplay's like. It's the same formula used by just about all the other LEGO games, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For those of you who don't know, basically you beat up enemies, collect money, and solve puzzles using the various abilities that the characters have.
Okay, I hate to be a nitpicky frick, but they're called studs. Get your terms right.
Okay, no. You know what? You're fucking right. That was a nitpick, but that was like probably the worst nitpick I've ever heard in my entire life. Your correction literally changes nothing. So what if he said the technically incorrect version of what money is called in the LEGO games? How does that detract from the video at all? Especially when actually just calling it money is more convenient for the audience. Because if he had said studs, those people that hadn't played any LEGO games would be alienated as shit.
Am I good at commentaries yet?
No!
If there's one thing I definitely gotta give this game credit for, it's that it probably has the best bosses in any LEGO game I've played. I mean, the games aren't exactly known for their bosses. These aren't the kind of games that you play for the boss battles, but I do think they were better in this game than the other games in the series I've played.
Okay, but how are we supposed to know you're showing footage of actual boss fights? Because in the first clip, it shows the player eliminating enemies with a counter at the top of the screen. Now, this could be seen as the boss sending out enemies, but it doesn't really show us where the boss is. Also, in the second clip, you don't even see a health meter. If you want to show us boss fights, show us ones with health meters or ones we can actually see. Like the fight with Dr. Doom, Doc Ock, or the final boss with Galactus.
Okay, to be fair, we did skip over that one part of the commentary simply due to the fact that you're not technically wrong per se, and the time codes are placed here again just in case. But this is like the third time that you've repeated the point about how he should be using matching footage bit throughout your commentary. Please never repeat your points again before I start forcing the cactus down your throat. Anyways, we're ending it here since he actually brings up a good point about the Fossiliser not explaining what the glitch is on the Mac version of the game within the video. He then also brings up some final thoughts, so it's time to make our own. John, since you're a guest here, you go first.
Alright, so those that follow me on Twitter might be aware that Owen and I have a little history. Basically, he has a tendency to tweet kinda shitty, condescending things at me, and I've responded a couple times. Now, the literal only reason I bring this up is that when MTR first asked me to do this video with him, I was worried that people would think I was only doing it because I was still angry towards Owen. I want to make it perfectly clear that that is not even close to being the case. I hold absolutely zero animosity towards Owen, and I don't hold any kind of grudge about him as a person or a content creator. Now, with all that said though, this video had a ton of problems. The acting felt superficial and forced, a lot of Owen's points fell through like a fucking bowling ball hitting a glass table, and the whole video just had a feeling of rush. From the default Windows Movie Maker text to static behind the audio, the whole thing just seems like it should have had more time put into it. More time fixing up the audio, more time making the video look better, just more effort in basically all areas. Now, Owen, I'll speak directly to you. I do honestly believe, as I believe with most people, that you are not a lost cause. Because honestly, you did have a point or two in this video that were pretty valid and felt like they had honest thought put into them. The problem is just making a bigger, more structured video where most, if not all, arguments are put together like that. And I mean, honestly, aside from it not looking super flashy or anything, the video didn't have any glaring technical issues. Hell, it was even rendered in HD. So honestly, your biggest and only real problem that persists through the entire video is that your points just aren't good. Have people, multiple people, check over your script. The reason I stress multiple is for two reasons. One, because you can never be too safe, and two, because multiple people means multiple insights, multiple thoughts, and multiple chances to catch mistakes. I wish you luck, Owen. I seriously do. I look forward to seeing your work in the future, and I hope I can think it's of a good quality. Jeez, sorry for that fucking essay I just read. Let's move it over to MTR now.
Oh, no biggie. I've seen worse. Okay, if there is something in which case I would like to see you improve on points-wise, it's the overall fact that you're really nitpicking throughout the entire commentary. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring up nitpicks at all. If there is something in which case that could be a problem later on in this future content, then okay, point it out. But so far, the nitpicks that we've seen here doesn't really hold up any water, considering the fact that they're not really something to be hugely concerned about. Maybe next time when you're presenting your points, ask yourself if this is something that would actually help someone out in the long run. But looking at the editing department, I'm gonna have to be somewhat disagree with John here and state that I feel like as if you could have done a lot better with Movie Maker. I mean, your skip card was a definite huge issue, and that the editing on your end kinda comes across as a bit awkward at times. And that's the commentary. I want to thank Blackish Butler for being a wonderful co-op partner within this commentary. If you guys have any requests for me to do, then leave it down in the comments below or shoot me up at either ask.fm/Twitter. And if you guys have any issues within the video, then leave it down in the comments below, or you may have our permission to do a commentary on this video.
Alright, awesome, we're done!
Yeah, and your background still hasn't shown up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep waiting.
You sure? You want me to stick around or something?
Nah, it'll be fine. You can leave. I'm just gonna sit here and wait.
Alright, man. I hope it comes back. See you later.
Bye. I really like that background, man.
Sports of God, this is getting weirder and weirder. Ah, frick. Hold up. Hello?
It's time. For like the commentary thing, not for the sex thing. That's on Thursdays.
Thanks, Ben, but let me go back towards pretending to be shocked about the situation. God damn it, now the mood has been ruined.